What's up, YouTube? It's the Ineradicable Iconoclast. And today, I'd talk about something that, from my personal life, not something I've seen on the news or something I've read about or anything like that. A friend of mine has two children who they're in sports. They're both very young, and they're part of one of these leagues that they don't keep score. They give trophies to everybody who participates, and the younger of the two, I kind of understand because he's very young and you're trying to get him just the concept of how to play the game. But the older one is in the same thing, and I think this is a problem because and I have seen this in my professional life where I was discussing with two of the newer members of the team. They're both a couple of years younger than me, several years actually. They're in their early 20s, and they have this kind of sense of entitlement that as long as they come in and they do the very bare minimum, the requirements, that they are completely exempt from being cut from the team if there's any cutbacks. And this is, I think, largely due to the participation trophies. Because when you get a trophy just for showing up, then what we're doing is we're teaching the next generation that you don't really need to do great. You just need to come on in and show up. So we're fostering not only a sense of entitlement, we're also fostering a sense of mediocrity or a culture of mediocrity where instead of doing your very best to achieve your goal, everyone gets the goal anyway. Or at least that's what you're trained from a very young age to expect, that everyone's going to get it anyway. So might as well just go ahead and just show up. Do the minimum. Just show up. You don't need to be great. And I think that not only is that a bad thing, because obviously we don't want to set a sense of entitlement into kids and young adults, and it doesn't prepare them for the real world, because the real world doesn't owe you a trophy. Real world will chew you up and spit you out. So why do we still do it? It's a fairly new thing. So it kind of does also fall under the category of what was wrong with the way we did things before. Why? If it wasn't broke, why are we trying to fix it? I mean, I never got a trophy, but I also never really earned one. So many people now, they think that, and this is more than just the trophies. People, particularly young people in our country, have a tendency to think that they're owed something, and you're only owed what you earn. And that is entirely the truth of the real world. So when you get out in the real world and you're used to your coach having given you trophies, or you get to be the MVP because it's your week to be MVP, or you're on a church league who can't cut you because you suck because this is church league, which is exactly what happened to me. Is I was horrible at basketball, but I was in a church league, so they couldn't kick me off. They could make me ride the bench the entire season, which they didn't, but they could have if they wanted to. They were still just trying to be nice. But when you have situations like that, then people expect that that they're untouchable. You can't be fired for doing the absolute bare minimum, and that's not the way it works. But tell me what you think, honestly, in the comments down below. Do you think that these participation trophies are a great idea? Do you think that they're a terrible idea that is contributing to the lack of the lack of exceptionalism? Do you think that trophies are a bad idea? Are you against competition? What other issues are there? You know what? Whatever you think about the situation, whatever you think, tell me, because I really do want to know. I want to know if I'm completely out of my mind or if you think that it makes sense. Once again, I am the Ineradicable Iconoclast, and I will see you around.